And as we pass through Philly, that is a great reason to take Amtrak. Stay away from that traffic. All right, well, good morning. We are here at Rensselaer Amtrak station. What are we about to do?
Well, it's about 7:30 in the morning, and we're going to be taking a train to New York. Yes,
we'll go from here to Penn Station, and then board our Amtrak Roomette.
Yep.
Down to Jacksonville, and
in the meantime, we're going to take the nice. We're going to go to the nice lounge there.
Yep, we'll check out the Moynihan lounge at the Moynihan train station. So we stand here before this cool gingerbread house. It is Christmas time,
and it's Christmas themed here at the train station too.
And we're beginning our Christmas vacation.
Should be fun.
All right, so we're on the train heading down to Penn Station. What do you think?
Well, the difference between business class and coach is not that big.
It's minimal. I mean, we've normally taken business down, and I'd say, you can see here the seat, a lot of room. I mean, the seats might be a little bit bigger in business, but these are very comfortable seats.
Yeah.
Got a 120 volt outlet here.
Yeah.
A lot of leg room, so yeah, I'm not sure business is really worth it. Here on the way down to Penn Station. Okay, so we've gotten off the train. We're at the Metropolitan Lounge at the Moynihan Train Hall.
So they have several options for sandwiches and stuff like that, non-alcoholic beverages, chips, stuff like that for free as part of the lounge.
Yeah, so it's just a nice way to spend a few hours before we have to board our roomette. So we've got a caprese sandwich, some hummus plate, and yeah, just nice and quiet and peaceful, not too shabby. You can kind of see up here on the balcony here at the Moynihan Train Hall. Beautiful view of tracks and where we're going to line up before we get onto the train. But yeah, this train hall is just absolutely beautiful compared to the old Penn Station, which was dark and dismal and just not a nice place to be. But this place, pretty sweet. See our little spot there where we kind of set up shop. All right, see, we just got settled in, huh?
Yeah, we did. So
how was it?
It was very easy, actually, except we got directed to the wrong car at the beginning.
Yeah, but
that was okay.
We're in.
Yeah, we're in.
Our cabin attendant helped us.
Yep, we're all set. Our luggage is up there.
And we're leaving. Yep, you can see that.
Yep.
Right up there.
And so you're going to want to have your luggage, and you're going to want to have a separate bag for your stuff that you're going to need tonight.
Yeah, this is what we've got down.
Yeah, down here. So that you're not digging around up there when
but we're just pulling out of Penn Station, basically on time.
Basically on time.
So, all right, next report coming soon. And you can see the Freedom Tower. We're leaving New York City there. In the distance. We have been to the top of that, haven't we, See?
Yep.
So normally it's our tradition when we board a train or do some type of big adventure, we take little cans of Sophia's, and they're by Sophia Coppola, out of Coppola Vineyards, and they're very fine sparkling wine from California, and they come in these small cans, but our store stopped buying those, and so we had to go with
a larger can of
Andre Brut, which probably...
We'll see how it tastes. Hey, we brought our own glasses too.
Yeah, little plastic glasses. We bring the cans just because of the probability of we don't need to break something or... All right, see.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That Sophia's might be a little bit better, but I suppose this
it's doable.
It's doable in a pinch.
So whether it's on an airplane or train or whatever, I do always read the safety card to get familiar with the safety systems of the vehicle. So for example, on this one, the emergency exit for the window is not intuitive. You have to come over here, pull this red handle, pull that and that will remove this entire gasket. And then apparently under here there's a metal handle, and you use that to lift the window. So it's obviously something not very intuitive. So we locate our emergency exits, and then there's also some really helpful tips. For example, in an emergency, never exit a moving train. Safety tip number 1.
Good tip.
Also, do not ever exit a train on a bridge.
Oh, good point.
Also a good tip. I can see jumping out the window and going all the way down.
Oopsie.
So yeah, oopsie. Also check for any oncoming train before exiting the train. Another good safety tip.
Yes.
So, yeah, whether on a plane
or a train,
read your safety instructions. Also, when Cindy brings up another good point, it says here, do not exit in a tunnel, right? Which seems to make sense. However, if your train is on fire, you've got to get off the train, right? Because rather you're going to burn.
Right.
However, if you do that, as per the great Kaprun Disaster disaster of the 90s, everybody who went off that train, we skied in Kaprun, so we're familiar with this disaster. The tramway caught on fire. Everybody exited the tramway. Those that went up the hill, every single one of them died. Those that went down the hill were the only people that lived. And the reason for that is that the hot exhaust gases were going up and suffocated everyone. So always, if you're on a hill,
exit down.
Go down.
So it is about 4 o'clock, and we departed at 2:30. We're approaching Philadelphia right now, and the reason I know that is because I've been using my phone, and if you go to the Google Maps app, you can find out where you are.
Yep, so these trains don't have like say any type of in-screen entertainment or in-seat entertainment like an airplane would, so you don't have those moving maps, but that's a good substitute.
Yeah, so you can find out where you are. And we're not going to do a full-blown room tour because we've already done a room tour of this style roomette.
So this style here is the newer roomette, right?
Yep.
And what distinguishes it from the older roomettes?
Well, the older roomettes had the toilet right there, which many people didn't like.
Yeah, there were a lot of complaints. People didn't like sleeping basically next to their toilet.
Correct. And so the toilet is a couple doors down this way.
Does this one work?
This one worked.
As opposed to our last Amtrak Roomette?
And it's basically a very large kind of airplane style bathroom.
Yep.
So, but this one comes with a few more amenities, I thought. It came with earplugs, which might come in handy for somebody who gets disturbed by a lot of noise, because this is going to rattle around a lot when it gets to be nighttime, and it comes with some body wash, and this also has a shower on the floor as well.
Oh, okay. And yeah, you get the mauve
decor. And there's some really good storage underneath the seat that's kind of overlooked.
Yeah, the seat got some really good storage.
Because it goes all the way from here to the back wall. And
right,
so,
in addition to what we have.
In addition to the one up there. So that's some pretty good storage, and we have some storage under here and here as well. So not too bad.
I checked all the lights are working. Cindy's claiming the air conditioning is not working too well.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little hot.
But I think it's doing okay.
I'm debating that. We might be talking to Preston about that. We're gonna get some nice Christmas lights coming down too. Look.
Yeah, we should. Look at the purple there. That tree, very nice.
This almost looks like a Christmas mart. Look.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it does.
And looks like a commuter train.
Yeah. We're getting a good train. We're getting the sealer right there. That looked like one of the newest sealers, I think. Not certain of that. We'll have to look into that. But yeah, the sealers run from DC to Boston. They're kind of sort of the U.S.'s best attempt at high-speed rail. The rest of the world's figured it out, but we haven't. And I guess that's our best attempt.
And you said that it's on the lines that Amtrak actually owns, right?
Yeah, the only lines that Amtrak actually owns are on the east corridor, the northeast corridor.
Yeah, it looks like the Acela.
It is. I'm just not sure if that's one of the new ones or not. I'll have to look that up. We'll provide an answer below. Okay, update, that is totally not one of the new Acelas. The new Acelas kind of sort of pay homage or kind of look a little bit more like the Shinkansen out in Japan, which I was able to take a number of years ago. That's like a 200-mile-an-hour bullet train, 300, you know, those things fly. So it looks more like that, not like the old Acelas. All right, we are in Washington, D.C. And this is our first smoke break. Don't smoke, of course, but this is the first time we can get off the train here. We'll be here for about an hour. You can see our train is the Seneca River. You can kind of see the exterior of the Roomette trains as we just kind of walk around the platform here, check things out at DC. They're going to be switching the locomotives from the electric locomotives that handle the Northeast Corridor to the diesel locomotives that'll take us further south. So just to switch the locomotives, they said about an hour. So yeah, see if there's anything to see here. And the dining car, looks like our dining car will be Providence. Be there in about an hour. Okay, so we're all set up, huh?
We're all set up. Just a thing of note, when you do put your roomette into its sleeping car position, you lose a lot of your floor space.
Yep.
Not that there was a lot to begin with, but it makes it hard to turn around, and you sort of have to make sure you're organized a little bit more to get things so that you can actually move.
I tell you, one thing I'll say with this roomette is that it clatters and shakes and bangs around a lot less than, say, some of the old Viewliners that we've been in.
Right. So this one's not. This one's actually quieter than some.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this will be fun tonight, and tomorrow we'll have breakfast.
Yep. And by the way, I consistently make fun of this light right here because it's the light when your sink is down.
It's not working.
I was going to do that again, but it doesn't work. How do I know if my sink's down or not if the light doesn't work?
Yep, that is true.
Maybe I have to do this.
That's the mirror light.
No, light doesn't work. Okay, Amtrak, we found one thing that doesn't work.
Yep.
So for those of you that may have had visions of breakfast in bed, you know, your cabin steward or stewardess or attendant, cabin attendant, will bring breakfast or dinner to your cabin. But when we're testing this,
breakfast in bed is going to be a little squiffy.
you could do it in theory.
In theory, but you can't put your legs underneath it.
But it's not really breakfast in bed. It would be breakfast while sitting in a bed,
exactly.
Which is a completely different experience.
Yes.
So, I don't know how often they sanitize their tanks. I'm brushing my teeth with the bottled water. Just, you know, just in case. I mean, I used to do this when we'd travel in Asia and places like that. So it's not that big of a deal to brush your teeth with bottled water to just make sure that everything's good to go. Also, like Cindy mentioned, they only gave us one set of earplugs, so we decided that we'd each use one ear, figuring that might be a good way to go. But comment below if you think that would work. I'm not sure it will. Okay, so you can see my sleeping accommodations up on the top bunk here. I've got this little strap to keep them from falling out. They've got a net here to hold your stuff, but it's kind of beat up, so we'll just compromise. We'll hang we'll hang my shaving kit there. Glasses will just kind of loop right in through there. Like that.
Do you have a cup holder for water or anything up there?
Nope. So my water's just going to sit like this. So that's going to kind of take the place of all of that. So yeah, we got a nice fan that blows right in your face here. It looks pretty good for the night.
All right. Let's call it a night.
Yep.
So we're getting into our station early, which is sort of unthinkable.
Yeah, that's never happened to us with Amtrak.
It has never happened. But it's always a good idea to get your stuff packed and put together at least 15 minutes before you are expected to hit the station, so you're not scrambling around at the last minute trying to get things going and get off the train.
Yep, we hit breakfast this morning.
Yep.
So yeah, overall we got up around what? 6:30?
6:30, yeah.
Breakfast by 7:30.
Yep, but we were supposed to arrive at 9:24 and we're arriving just a little bit after 9, so surprisingly fast.
It's like an Amtrak Christmas miracle.
It is.
Yeah, that's totally not a Luv Subbin water hose. Just they're filling up with water. All right, well there you have it. Our train trip down from New York to Florida. What do you think?
I thought the train was great, but I do think your cabin steward can make or break your trip.
Yeah, and our cabin steward, Preston, was awesome.
Yeah.
I would say about the dining though.
Yeah, the dining was interesting because it was the full service in the dining room with the tablecloth and all that. The dishes were plastic, which I thought was interesting.
And they throw every one of them away.
Correct. So, and they were not recycled. So that was interesting. And they were also seating us with other people, which I understand if it was crowded, but a lot of times it wasn't.
We'd show up and the dining car would be half empty, and they would sit us with another couple, which we don't mind, but we were trying to film the dining experience, so we weren't able to do that. And even the couple that we sat with, that they put us with a half-empty dining car, I noticed at breakfast they sat across from each other, and the steward still put a single person next to her.
Yes.
Which they were obviously saying, without saying it, we want to dine by ourselves.
Well, and her husband was a big guy too. And
yeah.
He kind of filled up one space.
Yeah, he was 6'7", so
yeah.
To me the dining experience was less than what we wanted, but hopefully when we go back,
we'll see how it compares.
We'll be able to film some of the dining experience and get you some of that content. But in the meantime, where are we at?
We are at Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Cape Canaveral is just off to my right here.
We are on the Space Coast.
Yep. And we're going to be doing some content, hopefully, with regards to some of our Florida stuff before we head back on the train and hopefully capture that dining experience. Yep. So if you like this video,
give us a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel.
And if you think we've earned a subscription, click the subscribe.
And comment below if you've taken the train down south or anywhere in the United States.
And what comments you might have. Because we come out with RV and Airstream related videos just like this one, and an occasional travel video every Tuesday.
Thanks for watching.